Hey, so if you're anything like me, you're working on yourself right now. You might be going through a time of healing. And if you're anything like me, you might not be like me, and that's totally cool. You're not satisfied unless you're evolving, unless you have a sense that you are moving towards more of who you really are. That's a phrase that just rolls off my lips. What do I really mean by that? Yes, what do you mean by that, Mike? Being who you are. I don't know what I mean. What do I mean by that? I feel it's the spirit when I'm stepping up my game. I feel totally different. There's energies there and focus and clarity and a sense of expanding is there when I'm stepping up my game. I don't feel at peace unless I'm stepping it up. And to do that, to step up, we're going to have to show up. We've got to start showing up. So I don't know about you, but that spirit is there when I'm showing up to do the yoga, to do my qigong breathing, to work on my business, my studying. What is it for you? What commitments have you made that you didn't show up? And don't worry, I'm talking to myself, because loads of times where I didn't show up, that's gone. That's old news. What are we going to create now? And whatever we decide we want for ourselves, it's going to involve showing up. It's going to involve integrity and keeping our word to ourself. And something I learned from Nathaniel Branden, the author of Honoring the Self, is that there is a psychological consequence when we don't honor ourselves. So that can be a motivator, because I know how crappy I feel when I go too long without showing up. And I know, Mike, you gotta step it up. And that is a motivator for me. A lot of voices in my head started to leave me alone when I began to answer my calling. I'm called, for me, it might be somewhat different for you. For me, I'm called to do yoga, qigong, and I'm called to this work of healing and sharing myself on my videos. For you, it will be something different. It could be very similar. But whatever it is, from now on, let's show up and be excited about that. The last video I was saying, back to life, back to reality. Being upbeat and curious about what happens when I give up that habit that I know and have known for many years that it don't serve me, that it just makes my body feel crappy, and it makes me feel crappy about myself, lethargic, doubting myself, having conflicting thoughts, and you're having that battle with yourself, and up and down all the time, good days and the days where you feel really low. What happens when I give that up? What happens when I start to show up? You're going to create something new. You're going to create something that's unknown, and that's what keeps life exciting. creating something different, and what's really happening is you're discovering more of yourself. And there's no limit to what you can discover about yourself. You have a depth to you. We all have it. It's all there. It's just sometimes it's glossed over when we're being who we think we are, and we don't even know really truly how else to be. And that's what it can be like sometimes. So let's step it up. And I mentioned in the last video that you can find a peace in that. I'm at peace with myself when I'm pushing my boundaries. And to do this, we're going to need to become... Look, the body's not going to like it. Let's say your goal is to pass your degree, or there's an aspect of your life you want to step it up. You're going to need to push through some uncomfortableness. When I stand to do my Qigong, it's uncomfortable because my mind thinks that it has something better to do. I believe I've got something better to do because I could zone out in front of a YouTube video, or I could just zone out doing just something other than my breathing exercises. And there's that feeling that I'm missing out on something. But when that voice comes up, I know it's there, and I just say, you ain't got nothing better to do. And it's just not fooling me. And it will also do this when you're letting go of that habit. It's going to make you believe that you're missing out on something. It's going to make you believe that you need to spark up that joint, or you need to spark up that cigarette, or go to the off license and get that alcohol. It's a short-term fix, and then, we know we're going to wake up feeling crappy. And right now, I love waking up feeling fresh. So, we know we're going to show up now. Like, this is an invitation. Like, you don't have to do nothing. Like, none of us, we don't have to answer our calling. It's a choice. And if we're not answering the calling, then why not? We need to discover that. Like, why am I not showing up here? It doesn't work to carry around this guilt and shame for not doing it. Curiosity. Be curious about yourself. What's going on there? I'm sparking up this cigarette, and it's making me feel really ill. And I'm just sat here smoking cigarette after cigarette. Why would I do that to myself? Just be curious. Know that you have the depth, the light. It's always there. And it's not a light that is better than darkness. This is a real sticking point for a lot of us, is the battle between light and dark. It's all one thing. It's all part of creation. We all have a shadow side. I can be a real git. I don't know if you have that word. That's something we say in the UK. I can be really, not what I truly want to be. I want to be kind. And this brings me nicely to something else I discovered about myself. I don't want to be a spiritual man anymore. I don't want to be a good man anymore. I want to be who I am. And the paradox is, and there's a lot of paradoxes in life, by being who I am, being more of myself, I might actually end up being all those things that I no longer want to be. Like, I just want to be who I am. I've incorporated all these beliefs, and this is spiritual. And if you behave in that way, well, that's not spiritual. And it's all nonsense. Just live your truth. And you know what? It could be true for you that you enjoy having a cigarette. If that's the case, and it really is who you are, and it is, you're getting enjoyment out of it, who am I to sway you into doing anything you don't want to do. It's not what I'm putting out here on these videos. But if it inspires you, let's show up. Let's show up. We're here, we exist. There's a lot going on right now. What are we going to do? Let's create something. And I truly believe that when we show up and we step it up, everyone around you is going to benefit, because you're going to be radiating a whole different vibe. People will be sat in your presence and they'll just start opening up and telling you what's going on in their life, because you become a tuning fork for your family and your friends and other people to tune into. It's not what we say that inspires people, it's how we live our lives. And I've had to learn that. So, and I truly believe that, and I truly believe, I want to say that I truly know, and yes, in those moments I do truly know that you are safe, we are safe. This is, when you're playing a computer game, do you worry? I ran out of memory on the phone. It actually gave me a chance to consolidate my thoughts. So a few things. I'm not saying that, you know, smoking a joint or drinking is inherently negative. I'm using my own experiences here, because I got to a stage on my journey where those things, they weren't helping me, they started to take away from me, and I had to take a step back. So that's where that's coming from. So do you get afraid when you're playing a computer game? Do you get afraid that the character may die? To me, this isn't the ultimate reality. It doesn't mean that we should try to escape it. I honestly believe that we are having the experience of exploring our consciousness and evolving for the heck of it, for the whole journey of it. Death, to me, is waking up. And that's what I roll with. That's what keeps that spirit alive within myself. And so that's where that comes from. I'm going to be making more videos like this. I've had to reach a place of self-acceptance to be comfortable talking like this. So I know that I got to start showing up, because I love, you know, I love people. It sounds like a crazy thing to say. Like, who says that? I love people. Because there's some people that you don't want to be around with. There's people that is, you know, you don't necessarily want to be around. But I don't know, it's the love. That's what all of this really is about. Like, sometimes for me, my YouTube presence, internet presence, it does, sometimes I get skewed and it becomes about creating financial abundance, but it's not really about that. And it's not even about goals. This is it. It's not even about, we're here now. And because when you reach the goal, you just arrive at a new place with different options and opportunities. So don't lust for the result, because once you achieve the result, you just arrive at a new station and you've got a new set of options and choices to make. So it's not like, this isn't about show up, be disciplined. As I said, I don't want to be a spiritual man. I don't even want to be a disciplined man. But by being who I am, because it's my calling to do it, I may end up, you might look at me and say, yeah, that's a disciplined man. I'm not trying to be a disciplined man. I don't need anyone to whip me into shape, and that's not what I'm trying to do here. Like, you've got your own life. You've got your own time. And do with it what you will. So, as always, hope you got something from that, and I hope to catch you later. Peace.